We have from the National Identification Authority the Executive Secretary he leads a large team here. We have with him the Executive Assistant to the Executive Secretary. We have the Actuarial Analyst. We have the Head of Operations, the Deputy Head of Finance, the Principal Officer, Corporate Affairs. We have another Head of Operations, and then Portfolio Management Head, and then the Chief Operating Officer. The operations, they are different. There's one that is IMS and there's one that is NIA. That is the overall. So they are all here. We'll listen to them and they will also listen to us. We'll try and find solutions to the differences. And then the Committee of the Whole will report to plenary. I want to invite the leaders of the three to join me here, and we'll start by calling on the Electoral Commission, since they have the draft instrument, even though they submitted some to the Parliament. They will have to set the ball rolling, and then from there we can move to the other institutions, listen to members. So, Electoral Commission Chairperson, may you, with your knowledge of the situation, focus in your presentation on the differences so that we see how we can resolve that one within the shortest possible time. Honorable members, I want to plead with you to please give us your ears. We are not looking for your mouths. We want your ears. Please. I'm taking note of all those making noise. And I'll apply the key. Yes, Chairperson, you may go on now.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Good afternoon, Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Majority Leader, Honorable Minority Leader, the leadership of the House, Honorable Members of Parliament, friends of the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I thank the good Lord for making it possible for my team and I to be here this afternoon. To God be all the glory. To God be all the glory. It is an honor to be here representing the Electoral Commission of Ghana. And my team and I are pleased that we have been invited to share our views on the draft CI that is a subject matter of our discussion today, as well as to answer any questions that may ensue. Right Honorable Speaker, as you may be aware, I was out of the jurisdiction at the time when the invitation was received from Parliament. I was attending to an invitation by the ECONEC for a peer exchange and election observer mission in Nigeria when your invitation to the Commission was received. Indeed, your letter was received on Wednesday, the 22nd of February, requesting for a meeting the following day, that is Thursday, the 23rd of February 2023. In fact, had I been aware of the meeting, I would have rescheduled the mission. In this vein, I'd like to use this opportunity, Mr. Speaker, to correct the erroneous impression that I have failed to honor the invitation of Parliament. For the records, this is the third time the Electoral Commission has been invited to a meeting of the whole House. The first was immediately preceding the 2020 election, and I led my team and presented a report on our readiness for the election. The second was the meeting of last week, when I was out of the jurisdiction, attending to an invitation by the ECONEC. Today marks the third time we have received an invitation to address the full House, and I'm here in my capacity as God's servant and the chairperson of the Electoral Commission. I'm here in my capacity as God's servant and the chairperson of the Electoral Commission to lead my team and to present our justification for the draft CI, which is the subject matter of our deliberations today. Mr. Speaker, the CI before Parliament seeks to promote the continuous registration of voters and advocates for an all-year-round registration of eligible voters at the district offices of the Electoral Commission. It is a clear departure from the previous system where the voters' registration was done for a limited period. Like its name, under the limited voters' registration exercise, the registration of new voters was only conducted for a limited period. It was not all year round. As such, persons who turned 18 years old after the registration period, as well as persons who had not previously registered to vote, could not do so when the time set aside for the limited registration, usually 3 to 4 weeks, elapsed. Under our new CI, anyone who is eligible to vote can simply walk into any of our district offices in the district where he or she intends to vote and register to vote. As indicated, this is a far departure from the previous limited registration exercise, where a person could not register, where a person who could not register had to wait for the next round of the limited registration exercise before he or she could be registered to vote. Honorable members, permit me to restate that the main advantage of the continuous registration exercise is that potential voters can register at any time of their choosing once the exercise begins. Interested persons who had not previously or who have not previously registered and qualified to vote will be able to register at their leisure and with ease, because it will be an all-year-round activity. As such, applicants will not be confronted with the long queues and frustrated crowds and possible conflicts that may lead to violence. We are equally confident that the continuous registration exercise will minimize the busing of prospective applicants to the registration centers and thereby lead to an orderly, conflict-free process. I must add, honorable members of Parliament, that for the first time in our history, we are mainstreaming the continuous registration of voters as part of our regular activities. As such, our officers in the field will be fully engaged all year round. Mr. Speaker, another significant feature of this draft constitutional instrument is the proposal to adopt the Ghana card as the sole source of identification for any person who wishes to register as a voter. This implies that the guarantor system, which hitherto allowed a registered voter to vouch for the citizenship and age of prospective applicants, will no longer be relied upon as part of our registration exercise. The reason is that over the years, the guarantor system has presented us with several challenges. Unfortunately, we were unable to discard it much earlier due to the absence of a national identification card such as the one issued by the NIA. The challenges with the guarantor system are twofold. First of all, it opens the door for registered brokers or guarantor contractors to guarantee and vouch for persons who are less than 18 years old. Secondly, it allows these guarantors to vouch for persons who are not citizens of Ghana. Such unqualified persons, usually minors and foreigners, use the door of the guarantor system to try to get onto our register. Mr. Speaker, it is important to note that to rid the register of minors and foreigners in the year 2020, the Electoral Commission established the District Registration Review Committees, which worked for several days and weeks in all districts to expunge the names of minors and foreigners from the register. We were able to successfully expunge close to 40,000 minors and foreigners from the register during the registration exercise. It has been argued that this number is not significant, but we beg to differ, and we refute the argument and state that one unqualified person on our roll is one too many. In short, it is possible to have these 40,000 legal persons determine the future of our dear country, and collectively, we must not allow this. I must add that the work of the District Registration Review Committee came at a huge cost to the nation. It was unnecessary, wasteful, and time-consuming. As a country, we should not continue along this route. Truth be told, Mr. Speaker, the guarantor system was not the best under any circumstances, but we did not have other options since a significant number of persons eligible to register did not possess the Ghana card at the time of registration in 2020. Even then, we had some 10 million Ghanaians using the Ghana card to back their citizenship in 2020. Today, we are reliably informed that some 16 million Ghanaians in possession of the Ghana card, and with NIA's today we are reliably informed that 16 million Ghanaians are in possession of the Ghana card. And with NIA's assurance that it will print and distribute the remaining cards to registrants in a matter of weeks, we do not believe that we will be disenfranchising persons by enforcing the policy requirement of using the Ghana card to prove one's eligibility. The use of the Ghana card as the sole means of identification, Mr. Speaker, will prevent foreigners and minors from getting onto our voters' register. More especially, it will prevent unqualified persons from influencing our elections and having a say as to who should govern our country. This is an issue that borders on the sovereignty of our nation. Simply put, only eligible Ghanaians must be entitled to vote. And we call on our honorable members to support our efforts to prevent foreigners and minors